You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 18th, 2023 meeting of the LaPorte County Community Corrections Advisory Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, I think we're going to start the meeting. And Darlene will let people in as they start to come. But we'll start with a Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Judge Paul Baldoni passed away yesterday, so we'll honor him with a moment of silence after the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So do we do a roll call?
Yep.
Okay.
Deborah Ackerman, Tom Alavisos, Bruce Ashley, Ron Heeg,
Here.
Tyler Wachelski, Kurt Ernst, Steve Eyrich,
Here.
Brian Broke,
Here.
Mike Callahan, Liam Hobbs, Spencer England, Steve Klazowski, Joe Haney, Sean Fagan, Rodney McCormick, Earl Cunningham, Jamie Oss, Dan Peck, Jeff Deutsch, Erica Stallworth, Rich Stahlbrink, Dion Campbell, Robert Galloway.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. All right, so I'm assuming everybody got a copy of the agenda, and I need a motion to approve the agenda unless there's something that needs to be changed. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Approval of minutes from October 16th. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion, corrections, anything? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, director's report.
We'll start with Ms. Holly with our financial report.
Okay, for the financial reports for October, we collected $93,397.87. And for November, we collected $92,265.42.
Ms. Garner, monthly status report.
The end of November, the work release capacity.
Microphone. There you go.
The end of November, we've had 0 CTP, 43 males in center, 4 females, 0 step home, 0 day reporting, 152 GPS, 9 scram, 10 scram X, 1 remote breath. We released 30 people and removed 23. And for the month of, we had 78 intakes. All right, Ms. Stantz with our violation report.
We had 2 failure to complies for pretrial. This is 2 failure to complies, 4 out of bounds reports, 9 possession or use of controlled substance or alcohol, 5 escapes, 4 fees, 4 payment of fees, and 2 written up for violation of any law. And then for CAB violations, we had 10 written up for fees, 22 for possession or use of controlled substance or alcohol, 5 violation of law, 8 out of bounds reports, 3 for refusing a mandatory program, and 1 for possession of dangerous, deadly, or possession of dangerous, deadly contraband.
So our updates, we went to the IACAC, which is our professional service that collaborates with the Department of Corrections. They are going to different performance measures. Usually in the past, we've had to establish 3 performance measures on our own. This time, because we lost $4 million as a whole for community corrections, some of the other agencies, the larger ones like Marion County and Allen County, they lost some of their funding. So some of them levied some good complaints as to what programs that they were running compared to some of the smaller counties. So this year we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. In 2024, our violations are going to look differently because DOC is really going to be looking at what services we're offering individuals. So whereas now you would see maybe somebody who failed a drug test, we would immediately send them to a CAB. Now we're going to have to send them to different programming, seek out different programming. So our violation reports will look a lot different because DOC is requiring a lot more services for our participants rather than just immediately removing them or going from 0 to 100. So any other updates I think we'll take care of in old business. That's director's report.
So I have a question.
Okay.
We revamped a while ago, the collection, the fees. Do you see any trends as to improved collection, improved income, improved percentage? Have you, over the past, what has it been, a couple of years now?
We have seen some improvement in paying fees because the PASS initiative was reinstituted, but there are some issues with the fees. We do have what's called a volunteer wage assignment. We do have individuals that come in and want to refuse to sign that paper. We have individuals who get released from court and they don't want to meet with the financial officer. Here recently, we actually had a young man call the police on us and say that we were holding him against his will because we would not release him until he met with the financial officer, and I think he owed, was it $5,000? He owed $10,000, never paid anything, and really cut up at the facility. So whereas we have a certain core group of people who like the PASS initiative and want to pay, we do have a core group of individuals who are just flat refusing and taking advantage of the system.
So,
I guess my question is why aren't they being remanded back into my custody? And just to retort, because I know you don't have the answer for that, but why aren't they being violated or petitioned the courts to send them over here then? If they're not paying, be out there.
I was going to talk about the microphone, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, certain of the courts think that you cannot, once the individuals say they don't have any money, they're saying that that's a penalty and that they legally can't penalize them for that. However, this was one of the things me and Ms. Garner have been talking about. We know the clientele a little bit better than the courts may know them. For instance, I'll give you an example. We had one young lady petition the court to have her fees waived because she had children. She worked at McDonald's and she didn't bring much income in. As soon as she got her fees waived, then she called me and said she needed a pass because she just bought a brand new vehicle. So some of the things that they tell the courts are not always accurate. So we were actually later on in the agenda, we're going to talk about that and ask for maybe a smaller group to help us work out some issues with the fees.
Can we hold on just a second? Darlene, do we have the wrong?
It says December 18th community correction advisory board that just sent you the meeting ID. I don't know who's account for one. What time did you log in?
I go under Steve's when we do that. That was from I used the login from the last meeting.
Because Deanna was trying to get in and he can't.
So I assume you're not logged in.
Well, let me forward. You may not be.
We're logged in.
Ah,
So maybe you need to log in.
don't you know my login?
Oh, I have the,
Oh, you have it?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that was there.
You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it?
We're just taking a moment. technology. Nope. So Ron, also to expand on that, the courts have said that individuals who are, and this is the Supreme Court, who are indigent cannot be incarcerated for failing to pay program fees, probation fees, restitution, any of that stuff. So
They're not living up to their end of the bargain.
absolutely.
I guess that's my issue with that. I
Right.
totally get what you're stating, but part of the condition of being sent to work release or community corrections is A, B, C, D. Why are they even being sent out there?
Can you use the mic, please? Yeah, and I totally agree with you, but the problem is,
I get both sides, but I guess conditions of being sent to work release or community corrections is they got to meet certain criteria, and if they can't even meet that criteria, why are they even going out there?
so I think the response is when you have somebody like that who has a new car, then you have a hearing to show the court that this person truly had the means.
Right.
Because the court says that you have to knowingly, intentionally, willfully not pay in order to violate them. So I would imagine, and I'm not a lawyer, just letting y'all know.
Neither am I, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn.
Yes. But that has been my understanding for the past, how many years have I been doing this? Too many years.
I truly get both sides.
yeah.
But we get these examples of this young lady going out and buying a new car when
Somebody's
she's
calling.
obviously begging for to not pay her payments. That's just
It isn't.
my food for thought on this Monday morning.
Yeah, and I agree. And the idea would be to bring it back to the court at the end for an indigency hearing, which is
Right.
not the easiest thing to say, let alone conduct. But just have them in front of the court and should prove that the person, hey, he bought a car, he's got this account at Renaissance, whatever it happens to be. He's had the money, he's been working, he can pay it, but he hasn't.
Just refuses to.
Exactly. But that takes time and legal effort.
It's not under your account.
Okay.
There was one listed under my account.
Huh.
No matter what, a recipient has a right to due process.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like it or not, if they bought a car, they bought a car. It's just like the GPS system. I said that before. You need to try to get the money on the front end. Being on community corrections should be a privilege, not a right.
Absolutely.
And if you want to be on here, you need to put a down payment down. So that way you can recoup some of your money right off the top.
Well, ideally, the court would apply bonds at the startup, but unfortunately, those get consumed by public defenders or defense attorneys or domestic violence interdiction fee or fines and costs or arrest, goes on and on and on.
It'd be nice if the judges show up and we can just have their opinion and they can hear your concerns.
Oh, you're saying my...
Recording in progress.
Our opinion.
Steve, I text you the meeting ID and passcode. Can you just send that out? That's for this one. But there-
If you send it to me, I can send it out.
Yeah, hang on. Oh, okay. Did you text it to me? Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it out to others.
You can send it to me and I'll send it to my mass email.
Okay.
We entertain a motion for a 5-minute recess while you guys do this right now.
Sure.
I'll move for a 5-minute recess. I agree.
I know. Although Dion said he was logged in waiting. Yeah, I don't either. I could send... Yeah, the trouble is the Zoom ID, the invite, doesn't help you when you're launching it.
Well, if I,
Yeah, Judge Oss is asking. US 06 web Hang on a second, Judge Oss just texted. Okay, it is US 06 Web. I don't see it.
I have it.
Holly's running over. So that's my phone number. So
You want the meeting ID number? Okay, you got it.
that's my cell phone. I just got a call too. I was sitting here from LaPorte Courthouse. Yeah, yeah. Everybody just call me on the meeting ID anytime.
I just can't find my group.
I didn't know I had one of those. So after this meeting, Holly, let's get together and, yeah.
Remember last time we had an issue, we got this new meeting ID that we sent out.
Yeah. So we'll change it yet again. Yeah, Marika's sending that out.
Trying to. Can't find the thing.
I'll send that to Judge Oss.
And sometimes on the phones it doesn't have all the options. I have a group, but I don't know where the group is. I can't find the group.
That's the
on my
problem.
phone.
Recording in progress.
Do you have Dion's cell phone?
Yes, I sent it to Dion.
Okay. Let's see who else has been asking. Yeah, I got her.
Probably Bruce, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Good morning.
Good morning.
Judge Oss able to get on. Okay.
I texted her the meeting ID. I'm seeing if Judge Alavisos is trying as well.
I don't have the number.
Rodney, how close are we to 5 minutes?
I'm not sure. I'm needing to.
Okay.
I need some leeway.
All right, thank you. Nothing from Tom, nothing from Jamie. Yeah, we gotta tweak this process.
Try to switch user, I won't.
That might be good. Yeah,
Switch user.
because she's kept mine because it can go past an hour or past 40 minutes, so. But we're just in a 5-minute little break here, Dion, so.
Very good, thank you.
And actually, when we resume, it's juvenile services report, so good timing.
Excellent.
Yep. This is that Smith. This is automated data.
That's a video?
Yeah.
No, not recording. TV, actual TV in the center.
I thought it would all come up or whatever.
TV
Yeah, I
in
think,
the center.
Oh,
we call it,
In the day.
Sorry, I'm stuck in this
we
meeting.
call it Xfinity.
Oh, they were expensive.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
$13,000 for Comcast.
Well, we could put a big antenna up on the roof.
Whether you're TV or Roku or
I got a filler out for DirecTV.
but it's everywhere. You know, because we got free. They, we're the only customer.
No. So I don't get TV in my office. I'm glad I didn't get it before. Separating's harder. So do we restart?
Jamie's not.
She isn't on yet, no. I sent her the meeting ID and the password, so. Alex.
I should have brought my laptop.
How can you send it out?
I don't know because I have the group thing on mine. Unless you get a reply all, you know, when I send that.
Mm-hmm.
She has sent Jamie the ID and password, but I'm not sure she has the technical prowess to figure it out.
Oh,
So I just retexted her and said, zoom into the, log out of the Zoom, log back in as this. She just said thanks.
she probably just saw it.
Tom didn't reply. That's all.
There's a lot of people on vacation this time of year, so
True.
I can't get into my email for some reason. And on my phone, it won't let me.
Yeah, Bruce trying to get in too.
You have his phone number.
Who is?
Bruce says. Yeah, 219.
219.
214 5107.
I would say go ahead and resume.
Okay, we're going to pick up where we left off. That was more than 5. I'm sorry. So we are now done with director's report, and we're on to juvenile services report. Mr. Campbell is here via Zoom.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well on this cold day. We had a really good year at the Juvenile Services Center. One of the things that we focused on was our culture and dealing with how we do things and the why we do things. And I think that we had a very successful year. Right now, we're in the process of planning for a departmental meeting that we like to do annually that kind of casts vision and sets the tone for the year, gives expectations and some goal setting. So we're looking for that. We've been hiring a lot of people. I think that we're down maybe, we're looking to hire 3 additional staff. And if we, they're in the final stages. And if we hire them, it looks like we'll be down only 2 or 3. And it's made a big difference within our department We were having less and less call-offs, and it's just a big jump in morale with the new employees, and a lot of fresh ideas, creative ideas. We've hired a lot of young people. For whatever reason, we've had an influx of applications, which has been kind of phenomenal. We've been able to hire some really, really strong young people, very bright. Other than the ones that community corrections steals from us, we're doing pretty good. I'll deal with Director Beatty later on that. But things are really looking up. We are going to do another Pennsylvania DMC, which is a law enforcement engagement. We did one with Michigan City last year with the Michigan City Police Department and with the Michigan City area schools, a collaboration with them. But we've never made inroads in LaPorte. And so we've had some conversations with superintendent of schools, with the LaPorte Police Department, Sheriff Heeg, and we're going to try to implement one of those here where we actually bring some of the young people in the community together with the law enforcement and begin to facilitate conversations. Most of our staff does the teaching, and we bring in an outside group that was brought in through grants that we received a couple years ago. Magistrate Stallworth, she puts a system in place, and we're just following through with that. And we're looking to do that sometime in March or April, and we're still in the planning stages. One of the things that we've also done that we're still working on is the deputization of our community supervisors. We've got a lot of things to work out. We had to bring the prosecutor into play and working with the sheriff, and he's really, really been great, as well as the prosecutor's department. And we're looking at a limited authorization of police powers from some of our community supervisors, which is going to free up our deputies to be on the streets rather than be inside of here. We need their assistance from time to time on some of the things we deal with, but we want to take some of their responsibilities in a limited role and just in the context of Juvenile Services Center, give them some deputization powers, mostly to write reports, things of that nature, and very minor crimes, to deal with things around here that they would have to come to our department to do. Also, I just want to commend our new Assistant Director, Anita Ross. She's done an absolutely tremendous job. She's been here a long time, and she knows the culture, she knows the ways, and she relates very well with our employees. And just want to commend her for the tremendous job that she has done this year. Overall, things are looking up, and we're looking for another phenomenal year. We want to start bringing in some outside services. We really want to be a services center. And so this phase of our development and this phase of our growth is going to deal with bringing in some community partners to come in between the hours of 5 and 8 and really make an impact in different areas such as music, the arts, dance, and other areas like that, just to be more robust in what we do and really give any youth that comes here the opportunity to excel in life and see planet so they can go forward. And that's about it for us.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Nope. All right. On to old business, personnel.
So we invited Miss Carrillo to come and speak today. She is one of our longtime standing caseworkers at the center. We have searched high and low for a counselor with the credentials, the substance abuse credentials. We have not found, we had one who had the credentials, but she only wanted to work for us for a year. And so I didn't want to go that route because then I'd be back in the same position a year later looking for someone. So me and Ms. Garner discussed it, and we would like to do a caseworker supervisor, but we wanted Ms. Carrillo to be able to speak as to why it's important for us to get another caseworker in and also to have a caseworker supervisor. You have to come up to the mic.
Hello. So currently right now it's just 2 case managers at community corrections. We currently each have about 100 to 110 each on our caseload. So our primary goal is to reduce recidivism. So that's us working closely with each individual. So we're not able to really do that right now with such a high amount on our caseload. We currently have about 50 at work release, I would say. So we each share 25 at work release. So with the work release clients, we do have like a more face-to-face interaction with them, but we just do a lot. We have to help them with employment. We help them with anything with substance abuse. So the clients that we're not able to reach is anyone on home detention. With that said, if we were able to get another case manager, we'd have less on our caseloads and we'd be able to reach out to the other participants that we're not able to help. When I started back in 2019, we have been referring clients to like outsources. So we work well with North Shore, Swanson Center, and we've had no issue doing that. So that's kind of what we would like to continue to do. They offer inpatient, outpatient. So a lot of like 75% of work release clients actually are receiving some type of inpatient or outpatient with North Shore Swanson Center right now. So the counselor title, really, I feel like if we were to make that a case management, we would be able to reach more of the participants, and we need help so that we're able to help them. And that's it.
So I guess what we're asking is permission from the board to reclassify the counselor position as a caseworker supervisor. So we would have to go back before the board and it would probably be a different salary. So that's what we would like to do. So we would just need a motion, or if there's any questions.
This need to go in front of the county's HR personnel committee and
Yep.
all that?
Yep.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any other discussion on that? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
So yeah, I think your next step is then to reach out to the personnel committee and have asked them to consider reclassifying it. So it's not like you're increasing or changing things, you're just trying to, yeah. So, okay. Building issues.
I have spoken to the commissioner's office. We are supposed to be the first ones on the schedule for the county council for them to go and ask for money for our issues that we are having at the facility. So it's scheduled and slated for January. They did have somebody come out and gave some quotes, and so we do have someone to fix it. They just need, it's the end of the year, so the budget is not there, so they want to go at the beginning of the budget to get it fixed.
What is going to be fixed?
The dorms need to be fixed. There's also, in each one of the bathrooms, the participants have access to the lights. I'm not sure of the technical term for it, but the ceiling was created kind of low. And so they're able to bust the lights out and get up there and kind of store stuff. We actually had somebody climb through there. So they're going to put a grate between the lights and the participants so that they're not able to touch those things.
Okay. All right. And then the locks.
The locks. We've had some challenges dealing with the locks because Richard Buell and William Hackett's name was still on the account. I have sent over countless letters from the commissioner's office stating that me and Ms. Gardner's name should be on that account. They are working on it, but I guess because of the security issue, they have to verify that it came from the commissioner's office and I am who I say I am. So as soon as that's verified, then we're ready to go.
Boy. All right. And on to new business.
Our body camera policy, we are still tweaking that a little bit, but here within the next week, you all will get a policy to go over. We've collaborated with the county jail and Department of Corrections on their policies for body cameras, and we took them and combined to make one policy for ourselves. So we just want you all to be aware to look for it, and you'll have from now until January to kind of go through with a fine-tooth comb to see if there's anything you want us to take out, add to, or see any challenges with it. We'll also be sending it to the county attorney for approval, and then once you all approve the policy, then we send it to DOC, and then we should be able to issue the body cams after it's approved.
Any questions about body cam? All right. Meeting dates.
The meeting dates would be the same as they were last year. It would be January, April, June. I think I sent everybody a copy of that, and we just need permission to approve those meeting dates.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Experienced in Emergency Leaders Program. Emerging.
So the Indiana Department of Corrections has a group where it's called Experienced and Emerging Leaders Program. It's a very prestigious group. Not a lot of people are accepted into it, and I was one of the fortunate ones and was accepted into the Department of Corrections. They do not allow a lot of people outside of the Department of Corrections to be in that class, so I consider it an honor and a privilege. It's going to open up a lot of doors for community corrections and bridge a lot of gaps, so we'll be exposed to more training. I'll be able to facilitate more trainings, and we'll have a really good foot in the door for Department of Corrections. So I just wanted to let everybody know that it's 4 times a year, and then there's a graduation at the end, and so I'll be inviting the advisory board to that graduation.
When's your first? Yeah.
Thank you.
When's your first meeting?
February 17th and 18th, I'm going to say.
Indy?
They're held 4 times a year throughout the state of Indiana. The first one is at Turkey Run County Park. Then the next one is at Brown County. Then the one is clear almost into Kentucky. And then we'll have a graduation in the Correctional Training Institute.
Very good. Well deserved.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Advisory board officers and members of 24.
We have some members whose membership will expire this year, and so we're not sure if they want to be back on the committee. We don't have our liaison from the commissioners here, and they appoint those positions, so we do have to vote on our advisory board officers, our president and vice president, or keep them the same. So that's something.
That's today? Or do we do that January?
We can do it January.
Okay.
We just have to think about it today, and if somebody wants to be in one of those roles, they can definitely let Ms. Holly know, and we can put your name in the hat on the agenda.
Okay. Program release issues.
I'm actually going to let Ms. Garner speak on that.
She spoke on it earlier. One of the issues we were having was
One of the gentlemen came in, he was released from court, and he refused to meet with financial, and we were trying to find out a solution or some ideas that would help us so we don't run into those issues. We had another gentleman released 2 weeks ago. He got released in court and he never showed back up. We never received any paperwork that day, so we filed escape, and he was released from court. And when we contacted the attorney, the attorney felt like he shouldn't come back in to be released, and there's a process to be released. So we were just trying to figure out, mainly with the judges, is there something that we can do to help us so we're not in a situation where we're filing escape charges and they were technically released.
And part of our DLC standards, we have to do an exit interview on all of our releases. So if somebody is released technically from court and just never comes back, then that hinders us from doing what we're supposed to do and turning in our correct paperwork to the Department of Corrections.
So when they're released from court, it's like they're in for a resolution of the case, a dismissal, or...
Right. And then some of them do come back to get their belongings, but then we had an attorney tell this young man he didn't have to come back, and he flat out refused. I'm not coming back.
If you don't do an exit interview in person, can you mail them a survey? Would that qualify?
I think some of the issues with that is if they owe fees, then they meet down and come up with a plan. And so if they're not released, and sometimes we don't get court orders right then.
No, you won't.
So we won't know.
Yeah.
So we may need to just have a meeting with the judges to see if we can come up with a solution with them to see how we can handle that. Maybe they can put in the order that you're released, but you have to report back to work release.
Yeah, I think just if they included that in the order, the resolution, then you would have, paperwork to come back on. So, yeah. Okay. Any other comments on that? JRAC. I don't think, is Tyler on there?
I don't see him.
No. Okay. All right. Public comment. Or any comment.
I didn't. Oh, go ahead.
This is not going to be a typical setup.
Okay. Use your microphone.
This is not going to be the typical setup for our meetings, is it?
I think the last meeting it was suggested that we move back over here.
Right.
I'm talking about us as board, some tables maybe?
Yeah, that can happen. Just nobody, since this was the first one, nobody really knew what we wanted. So we can definitely do that. And ultimately, in the next 3 years, the upstairs will be done, and maybe we can use the other room like we had in the past. So, and I was being facetious. Hopefully, it'll be done in the next 4 months. I know it would. I know the feeling, but yeah. Okay. Any other?
I did forget to mention something. The cable company that we are currently using, we won't be able to use them any longer. It is part of our participants' rights to have access to the television. I did call Comcast to see if we could get Comcast out there. They said it would be a minimum of $13,000
A year?
to put
Or just
a flat fee to install.
Oof.
To put cable in our facility. They do have cable at the Juvenile Service Center, but there's no optics running to our facility. And so they would have to redo all of that. And he said a minimum of $13,000. And we're kind of begging the county for money now, so I did not want to go up before the county council asking for that. So I am looking for alternative solutions. If anyone has any suggestions, I do have a filler out for DirecTV, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. So I
we just run a wire from Juvenile Service. It's not that far.
No, it's not far at all, but the gentleman told me $13,000.
Wow.
Minimum.
So yeah, if anybody has any insight or thought or ideas, it's not my world, but if anybody knows anything, get a hold of us and let us know.
And
Should we just do a couple of streaming services?
Yeah, we had talked about Roku and other options, but yeah, that's a possibility. So
we have to replace the TVs that we currently have. I think 2 of them are not smart TVs. 1 is, but 2 of them aren't. I mean, we could definitely do that, but
Well, you could just put a Fire Stick or
you can get
something like that. It doesn't even have to be a smart TV, I don't believe, as long as it has a port.
Right.
okay.
We'd have to somehow put that Fire Stick and the TV away from where somebody would have access to it, so it doesn't walk out of the center. But yeah, that's what I use.
Okay.
So
I'll look into it. I'm not familiar with the Fire Stick, but I'll look into it.
okay. Anything else for the good of the? Do you know who?
No.
Not sure. Yeah, ask.
See, what did it say?
Oh, I can't read who.
Oh, can we identify ourselves who are on Zoom for Miss Holly?
Judge Osgood's on Zoom.
Dion Campbell on Zoom.
Liam Hobbs on Zoom.
Deb Ackerman on Zoom.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Does anybody on, I apologize for the technical issues we've had this morning, but does anybody on the Zoom call have any questions about the agenda prior to jumping on the meeting? Nothing? Okay. Any other comments from anybody? All right. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you in January.